Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. Want to bring you a quick forecast update. We have had some really warm weather around the area today. It's only going to get warmer over the weekend. Not a lot of activity going on. It's just sort of a mostly sunny sky out here. In fact, as you just sort of look over there, you've got some rain and some clouds off to our east over here in Ohio. That affected portions of Indiana earlier today, but for the majority of us here in southwest Indiana, it's just been a beautiful day all around. And what you've got here is from here on down is basically just crystal clear skies, just bright sunshine, beautiful weather. But look at these temperatures, upper 80s to flirting with 90 degrees around the area. So we have certainly got some hot temperatures around the area. Probably going to warm up another couple of degrees this afternoon before we call it quits here for this afternoon as well. It's going to be a very warm day across the area, rain-free, and it looks like it's going to stay that way for a couple of days. But some bigger changes are there in the works in the forecast. The rain will come back, and unfortunately, it looks like wet pattern's going to evolve with that as well. Here's what I mean by that. If we just put the GFS here into motion, what you can see here is there's the rain moving off to our east there. That was in Ohio. Again, really didn't affect most of us in southern Indiana. Our next chance of rain will come though on Sunday, and it looks like a pretty small chance, maybe 40-50% chance right around in there. Not everyone's going to see some showers, but there will be some spotty showers, spotty to some scattered thunderstorms there around. It's going to be another hot day as far as that goes as well. And then we have plenty more storm chances to come in over the next week, just wave after wave. It's not going to be a deluge of rain all the time, but just some scattered thunderstorm chances for a majority of the days before we go back into another pattern. And really what you see is, this is taking you here into June, the end of June here. This is June 26th when the modeling stops, and you've got a pretty active wet pattern coming up. Well, how much rain could we be talking about if the latest GFS pans out here over the course of the next 384 hours, which is about 16 days? Well, this has 4.3 inches of rain there in Evansville, about 3 1/3 inches of rain there in Louisville, 3.7 up around Indy, and here around the Southern Indiana Weather Office, Huntingburg area, close to 3 inches. This, of course, would be another 3 inches of rain over the course of the month. It's not going to fall all at one time, but it indicates for us a very wet pattern. It's not the only modeling indicating that, by the way. The GGEM, which is a Canadian model, this only goes out to 10 days, but you can see even in the 10-day period here, we're talking about a good 2 to 3 inches, possibly 4 in some cases around the area. So both modelings in the 10 to 6 day period, 10 to 16 day period, as we're looking at this, show some wet weather next week, and that's going to bring some significant rains with it. Certainly not a dry month by any means. Plenty of rains coming to us here in June. Now, of course, we typically see a dry summer whenever we're going out of El Nino and going into La Nina, but that's not what we are seeing at all at this point. And of course, in some ways, it really doesn't surprise me because we didn't have a typical El Nino this winter anyway. There were a lot of surprises with that, so why should that not carry into the summer? Why should it be any different? Is it going to get drier? I do think it will eventually get drier as we head toward La Nina, but the question is, when is that fountain going to shut off, so to speak? Right now, I believe it will eventually, but right now it's not looking like it's going to be anytime soon. Looks like over the course of the next month or so, we've still, at least in the next couple of weeks, we've still got plenty of rain to deal with. Now let's talk about temperatures here really quickly. It's going to be warm over the next little bit as well. Temperatures again today, flirting with the 90s across the area, and we're going to warm up pretty warm tomorrow as well as we go into Saturday, the 11th of June. Look at the 90s encroaching on the area, and this would have us around 90 in Evansville, around 93 in the Louisville area, upper 80s here as far north as Indianapolis. So I would not be surprised for some of us to even punch up here a few more degrees. It might even be possible for some of us to punch up to 95 tomorrow around the area. It depends on whether we get a stray cloud over at the heating time of the day or not. But certainly those low to mid 90s are going to be the norm around the area. And then, of course, muggy temperatures as you wake up Sunday morning. Look at this, is just your low right in the almost in the mid 70s there, according to this model. So very muggy weekend, and of course some thunderstorms scattered in the afternoon on Sunday. That could keep us out of the 90s for some of us, but some of us still indicating here lower 90s around the area. I think it's going to be another very warm day. Certainly 90s possible on Sunday. As we go beyond that, we got some more warm days coming up. As you can see, here we come into the 14th and you've got temperatures here on the 14th, and the 15th here, flirting with that as well. But as you get later on into the period, I just want to show you it does start to cool down at least a little bit. By the time you get to, let's say about the 18th here, you got temperatures floating near the 80-degree mark rather than the 90-degree mark. And as you go throughout here later in the month, you still see plenty of 80s, but I don't see a lot of 90s creeping up on us. And of course, we will take that. I do think that we are going to at least partially cool down. It's not going to be cold by any means, but I do think the 90s are temporary. I think this heat wave is very transient, and it looks like we're going to see a return to the low to mid 80s for a good chunk of that time. So the extreme heat that we're going to see, that we're seeing today, that we're going to see tomorrow into Sunday, into the early part of next week, that will moderate a bit. And are we going to see it return again? Probably. You know how the summer goes. But at least for the month of June, as we start to look towards the close of June, the last half of the month, doesn't look all that bad. It looks like these 90s are going to be here to stay for a few days, but sort of get kicked out of the way after that. Well, here's what your forecast looks like. If you go to southernindianaweather.com and click on 10-day forecast, folks, 95 your high for some of us tomorrow as you head towards closer to the Ohio River. Might be a little bit less than that as you head a little bit further to the north, but certainly a 90s norm around the area. It's going to be a ridiculously hot day, so be careful out there if you're going to be doing anything outdoors. Low to mid 90s there on Sunday as well, with some scattered showers and thunderstorms. 94 is certainly obtainable unless we get some scattered showers and thunderstorms earlier in the day where we don't make it up to there. Then 90 could still be attainable, but it's going to be another hot day on Monday as well. That lasts into Tuesday before the relief starts to come and we start to head down into the 80s. But look at this. We get a chance of some showers Sunday, a reprieve Monday, but then you got good chance of rain on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, chance of showers on Friday. But as you head into that, well, you don't see 70s, unfortunately, but you do see some mid to low 80s, and of course that's pretty darn good for late June weather as far as that's going. We'll take that. I'll take 82 under partly sunny skies for a weekend. High temperature there in late June, over 94 with scattered showers and thunderstorms any day and time. So the good news is, again, that cool down will come down. It will come back to us. The heat is very transient. It's not going to stay into the screaming 90s all month of June. But we do have a few days to deal with. So as you're headed out the next few days, I know there's plenty of activities going on. The Du Bois County Bombers are playing tonight. They're actually playing the next few nights. You can visit them on the web, dcbombers.com. Find them on Facebook as well to get their full schedule if you're heading out to their games or another number of other things that you might do, this weekend, folks. Just make sure you dress appropriately. Make sure that you wear the sunscreen because it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. And with this kind of sunshine that we're seeing in the warm temperatures, people can have sunburns quite easily out there. So just plan accordingly. But hey, if you like the summer weather, the heat is certainly on. That's it for this update, folks. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.